You're watching Talk with Audrey. Welcome back. So, do you want to boost your backyard without busting your budget? I know a lot of homeowners are spending more time outdoors and looking for ways to care for their yard in an eco-friendly way, from making better plant choices to growing their own food and even adopting battery-powered technologies. My guest today is licensed landscape contractor Sarah Vendrick, and she has some money-saving tips for creating an eco-friendly lawn and garden without breaking the bank. Welcome.
Hi, thank you so much for having me.
So let's start with some plants. What should we consider when starting a garden or landscaping the yard?
When it comes to selecting plants for your garden, you want to lean into native or climate-friendly plants for the area that you live. And you want to do this for a few reasons, but mostly that they're adapted to the environment and they're going to need less resources, and resources cost money. So the less you have to purchase, the better. So when it comes to watering and fertilizers, if they're already somewhat adapted, they're going to do a lot better off from the start. Another thing you can do is get rain barrels and start collecting water. It comes when it rains. If you collect it, it's a free way to water your gardens. In fact, plants absolutely love rainwater because it's free of chlorine and all the other stuff that we have in our tap water. Another thing you want to consider is bringing in pollinators, and this is going to be good for the environment. It's going to be good for your garden. Bring in the bees, bring in the birds, bring in the butterflies, and this is just going to make a happier garden overall. And of course, if you're trying to garden on a budget and get some projects knocked out, look at what you might have at your property already. Like these planters were from a fallen tree, and we cut them down with a chainsaw. We drilled them out and made them into planters, which help enhance the garden. And really doesn't cost you anything if you find it on site.
Do you have any tips for people who are thinking about growing their own produce?
Yeah, when you're growing your own produce, things you want to consider. Some people only have an apartment or a small patio. So starting with something like a container garden, which is as simple as getting containers and putting them on a patio. A few things to consider is make sure they're out in full sun. You'll want to make sure that you hand water them. I actually like using a mixture of native soil and soil amendments mixed in together, and this can actually save you some money because you're not having to purchase all of the soil. You can get it right out of your yard, and a lot of times it's plenty sufficient for what your plants need, and just a little extra organic matter puts it in good shape. And also, if you're looking to save money, starting out with seeds is the most cost-effective way. Especially, I don't know if you've noticed all the grocery bills getting really high. A lot of people are leaning into their garden to grow their own food.
Indeed, and it is so satisfying. But you know what else you need, Sarah?
What?
Some really great tools.
Oh, this is the fun part. So after you install your garden, you're maintaining, you've invested your time and your heart and your sweat into all these spaces, you want to make sure that you're maintaining them. And so there's a few ways to do this. I personally use the AK system from Steel. They are battery tools, and the one battery charges all of the tools. And the nice thing about them is that they're lightweight and they are low noise. So if you live in a neighborhood, you're not going to really be bothering your neighbors. Another big point on why you turn to battery to help save in your garden is it's an investment. Once you purchase the tools, you don't need to purchase fuel anymore, which is stinky, and as well as it's just a little messy and it's harder to maintain. So turning to battery is easy to maintain, and you're going to save on the future cost of buying fuel, which is great. If you have a smaller garden, you might turn to the AS system, which are these tools over here, and those are great for patio gardens or smaller areas if you're in the city.
Yep, makes you feel official.
Yes, exactly. And you know, a lot of people ask me about the power of tools as well. And when it comes to battery, they've come a long way. So this mower here, if you have a lawn in the front or backyard, this lawnmower is self-propelling, and it can actually mow the length of 12 football fields on a single charge, which is really impressive. Honestly, my favorite thing about using the tools is having interchangeable batteries. That makes it a lot easier as well. But getting in the garden is just such a great time of year to do it right now, and also getting creative with it. The garden that I actually built personally, I made it a salsa garden where we had tomatoes and onions and cilantro all in one garden. It's a great way to get people excited to get outside and get inspired by their yard.
So everyone, you know, if you're looking to maintain your yard or growing your own food, or maybe just getting back to nature and digging in the earth, you're going to need the right tools. Sarah, where should we go for some more tips and information?
If you check out DIYtipswithsarah.com, that's Sarah without an H, you can see the different projects that we've created, as well as have some tips on gardening as well.
All right, and even though the tools are battery powered, remember to operate them safely and enjoy the summer. Sarah, thank you so much for joining me.
Thank you.